Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Mira, and today we're going to be doing a message from your soul. This is something I was just guided to do randomly. I heard some a real deep ringing in my ear, and I heard to pull some cards. So at first I pulled some cards for me, and now I feel like I need to share a message for you guys. So let's get into it. Let's go. I have some oracle cards pre-shuffled for you guys. So we're going to get into those after we get into your tarot cards. Okay. We have 4 piles. Pile number 1 is this labradorite tower. Pile number 2 is this crescent moon. I think this is 𝔗𝔦𝔪𝔢𝔰. I'm not sure. I have absolutely no clue. I'm just taking a wild guess. Pile number 3. This is a paperweight that has literally been around for years. Pile number 4, we have this geode. Okay guys, the timestamps are down below in the description. I'll try to leave them in the comments, but I always forget, so if you can't find them in the comments, they're definitely in the description. And I'll see you guys in your piles. Toodles. Hello everybody who chose pile number 1 with this labradorite, I believe, tower. The smoke just went in my throat, so maybe that'll mean something. Maybe we'll get some throat chakra energy in this pile. We'll see. Okay, so first we're going to get into your tarot cards, and then we're going to get into some pre-shuffled oracle cards that I have for you guys. And I have not looked at any single one of your cards yet, so they're all going to be shown to me as they are shown to you guys. One thing that I do want to address right here is we have the 5 of Voices on the back of the deck after I shuffled your tarot cards, and I feel as though what Spirit is really telling you is to get out of your own mind, right? I feel like there's a lot going on there. I feel like there might be a lot of voices in your head. There might be a lot of contradiction. Maybe you guys are having a really hard time distinguishing what is your true inner voice, your higher self, your intuition from ego, fear-based energy, or energy of other people. There's a lot going on here, and I feel like your soul is like really trying to creep through and tell you like a lot of what you're seeing or believing is, I don't want to say ego thoughts, but I do want to say a lot of what you are hearing, maybe following, maybe listening to is shadow energy. A lot of the time shadow energy can be very loud, and intuition energy is really quiet, so that might be something for you. So the cards that you have here is the 3 of Emotions, the 3 of Cups. These cards are so beautiful. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. Wow. I'm hearing the one song, what the fuck is that song? He said, and I'm losing control. Something. It's electrifying. I don't remember what that is. I don't know what that song is. Then we have the 9 of Voices. Yeah. There's a lot of shadow energy creeping through your reading, and I feel like this is energy that you are kind of used to being in. This is very I heard self-mutilating, but that's not the word. There's a lot of self-doubt here. There's a lot of, that's what the word is, self-criticizing energy here. And I feel like that's the reason why your soul is sort of telling you, like, listen, when you hear certain things in your mind, really just stop and ask yourself, how does it feel? Does it feel good? Does it feel energy? Does it feel energizing? Does it feel electrifying, right? Or does it feel like a weight being pressed on your shoulders? I also do want to let you guys know that there are crickets down here, and so you're definitely going to hear them. There's a lot of them. So yeah. But I feel like the biggest message your soul is trying to give you is listen to the voice that makes you feel good. And the voice that makes you feel good is not always going to be the voice that tells you what you want to hear. The voice that makes you feel good is going to be the voice that gives you the energy that you need, that tells you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear, but it's always going to tell you it in a soothing way. It's not always going to be, like I said, it's not always going to be what you want to hear, but it's going to be what you need, and you're going to know as it hits you, when it hits you, that that is what you need to hear. Your soul is never going to speak to you in a patronizing or condescending, messed up, what the hell are you doing type of way, right? Your soul is always going to give you the energy that you need without scaring you. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm really being drawn to all the dots here, because not all the cards here have dots in them. Some of them, a lot of them, but not all of them. And I feel like the dots here are like a real focal point, and I feel like you guys, I'm getting like bee energy, like really hard working, stable people. But I feel like when it comes to your emotional body, sometimes your emotional body feels a little bit unheard. Maybe because you don't sit with your feelings, or when you sit with your feelings and it gets a little bit too uncomfortable, maybe you withdraw that energy. And I'm feeling like your soul is just telling you that it would help to really free you the more that you sit with the uncomfortability. And I just did a message about this on YouTube. It was like an activation. And I'm sorry, not on YouTube. I did it on Instagram and on TikTok. And it was all about finding your real self, finding your soul self, finding your actual, sitting in your actual energy. And I feel like that is what's coming up here in your reading. I feel like you guys are finally, like your soul is finally like ready to be revealed. And a lot of us, when we are met with the energy of our real, true self, it feels scary. It feels heavy, you know? Because a lot of us, we are so, what's the word? We're so like filled and conditioned to behave, to think, to be, to act in a certain way, to feel a certain way. And so when our real energy comes in, it can be really hard for us to sit with, because a lot of the times the energy of your soul is calm, it's peaceful, it's relaxed. I'm not saying that, you know, you have to like be like some sort of grandma energy, right? But it's a lot of what, okay. So a lot of what we feel is normal is stress. A lot of what we feel is normal is living in that survival mode type of energy. So when your soul comes in and it finally allows you to relax and to take a deep breath and to release and to feel into your own energy, into your own body, it can feel really scary, because it's not what you're used to feeling, it's foreign, right? And I feel like your soul is saying, like, I'm ready to come out, I'm ready to be seen, I'm ready to be unfolded. And I feel like a lot of you guys have been doing a lot of the self-work here for a very long time, and it's like you've been uncovering layer by layer by layer by layer different parts of your soul. And it's like now I feel like you guys have done all the work that needed to be done to make your soul feel like it is safe, or maybe you've just relocated, or maybe you've just had some sort of tower moment, some sort of dark night of the soul that changed things up for you. And now, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, your soul feels safe enough to sort of come out of hiding. And I feel like it's because of this shadow energy that you hear so often, that you are so accustomed to, that this beautiful positive light energy is finally able to come out of its hiding space and be like, here I am, this is the real me, you know? Because if you haven't dived into that shadow energy, there would be a lot of energy that needed to be cleared, cleansed, dealt with before this soul energy comes up. But it's like you guys are finally ready to meet your real self, or you have been in the process of really meeting your real true self. 9/11 on the clock, that is Archangel Michael's number. So yeah, I do feel as though your soul is 1000% coming up for you guys to what is the word, to be accepted. Because it's like, I don't feel like, and I'm not going to say that you guys have nothing to learn, because there's always something to learn, but with you guys it feels like you've learned a lot, and now you're ready to relax into your own energy, right? But there might be a lot of fears, a lot of, like I said in the beginning, shadow energy rising. So right now it's really important for you to listen to those emotions, listen to those shadow emotions, validate them, and also say to them, like, listen, I understand you're trying to protect me. I understand that, you know, because your ego is just to protect you, right? It's fear-based energy, and sometimes it might lead you to a lot of difficulty in the sake of protecting you, right? Because maybe that worked before. Maybe you grew up in an environment where you needed to think of worst case scenario, and you needed to plan ahead for the worst case scenario in order to be safe. And it's like, now you're in this place where your soul's like, well, we don't have to do that anymore, you know? So instead of just trying to push your shadow thoughts, your ego energy, your shadow energy down, it's like, I see you, I hear you, I validate you, thank you so much, but rest easy because we are safe now. That's the type of energy that I'm getting here. And it was 11 minutes on the clock, 11 minutes 0 seconds. So now we're going to get into your oracle cards to see a deeper message from your soul. So your first oracle card we have, look, invite help. It says, invite the divine to pursue. Invite the divine to pursue you. Seriously, just say, I'm finally ready. God, pursue me. Look, isn't that like literally what we were just talking about? I'm finally ready, soul. Pursue me. I'm finally ready, soul. You know, unveil yourself. Come out. It's okay. You're in a safe space now, right? And then we have a moonology card for you guys. We have bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. And we're coming up on a new moon. If you are watching this video as it was posted, when it was posted, we are coming up on a new moon here. And so I feel like this is really telling you to pour that love into yourself, right? Pour that water, because the sign of Aquarius, she's pouring water into the ocean. And you would think, like, the ocean doesn't need that. The ocean is water, right? She's pouring water into water, like, for what purpose? To give back, right? And I feel like your body, your soul, your mind, it needs to be, like I said, like, even when you have these difficult thoughts and stuff arise, it's like, it needs to be validated, it needs to be heard, it needs to be understood, and it needs to be accepted and valued, right? Because a lot of us, when we have these difficult thoughts, these hard emotions, or these ego thoughts, we tend to look down on ourselves for them, or we look down on these thoughts themselves. And that's not necessarily that that's bad, because it's not bad, it's just the way that we deal with it sometimes. But you can catch more flies with honey, right? And it's not even about that. It's not even about catching flies. It's about honoring every part of your being. And how are we going to honor our light being, right? If we cannot honor the darkness and the protection methods that it has used to be able to finally come out into a safe space, right? 1313, and then I saw 333 on the clock. Oh shit, we have another Moonology card. So what we're gonna do, okay, hold up. We have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So we have a new moon and a full moon. Yeah, this is you guys literally coming into yourself. You guys have done the work to come from, you know, one version of yourself. It's like you guys might have been forced to be a type of person that you're not for a very, very long time because of maybe difficult upbringing or a lot of trauma that had been inflicted upon you through your early adult or childhood, teenage life. And it's like your soul is like finally ready to feel, ready to be who you really are. And so like I said, stepping into this new version of self, well, really stepping into the version of self that you always were, 1441 on the clock. It's going to be really healing, but it's also going to feel a little bit difficult because it's not like you're becoming a whole new person because you were always this beautiful energy. It's just you're finally recognizing yourself as that. You're finally choosing to walk in that instead of choosing to go about things the same way that you've been going about things, which was from maybe a fear-based reality, which is not bad, but you've ascended to a point where you don't need to be in that type of energy anymore, right? Oh shit, we got a lot of cards for you guys. I forgot about that. And it's gonna bother me because it's not gonna be even, but it's okay. Oh, so this one we have 𝔗𝔦𝔪𝔢𝔰. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Look, creating heaven on earth. You guys are finally, and look at all the water in your cards. We have bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius, and she's the water bearer. We have the 3 of emotions. We have the Cancer card right here, full moon in Cancer. Cancer is that water sign, right? And then we have all this water over here. You guys are really starting to know your emotional body. And so I feel like a very, very big message from your spirit guides is like, don't shut your emotions out. Your emotions are guiding you to where you need to be, right? Even if they don't feel like emotions that you want to accept or let in, they don't have to be emotions that you go by, right? Emotions are just guiders, right? They just help point you to different things. They are not always the basis in which you need to live your life, okay? But you are creating whatever you've been manifesting is definitely coming true for you. The biggest thing here is just to listen to your emotional body. And then we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Look, and all that difficult that you've been through is just going to make for a brighter future. And look, coming into the water over there. This reminds me of the star card. I mean, not the star card. Maybe the star card is something significant for you. It also is an Aquarius thing. But I meant the Tower card. The castle has to crumble in order, the tower has to crumble in order to get to the castle, right? In order to be built on better, more stable foundations. And then we have the snake right here. Some of you might be going through a Kundalini awakening. Oh, this is really going to bother me because it's not all, it's not even, but it's okay. So, and then we have from the Maruk deck, we have invest wisely. Invest your attention into things that support, nurture, and challenge you in healthy ways to help your soul bloom. Beautiful. We're just going to stick that one right there. Truthfully, I should have did that one at the end, but everything happens for a reason. You guys might also, like I said, really criticize yourself. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have did this. Oh, I shouldn't have did this. I should have did that type of energy, right? And then these two cards are a little abrasive because this deck is just very out there. They curse a lot. They are a little vulgar sometimes in certain cards. So if you don't like this type of message or this type of conveying of a message, then I would definitely say not to listen to these last two cards. But if you know me and you really like my energy, you'll know that these are the type of cards that are more like aligned with my energy, because this is the type of person that I am. But if you're okay with that type of message, then stick around for these last two cards. So the first one we have, don't believe, y'all, literally the whole message here. Don't believe every shitty thought you have. Thoughts can be sneaky, lying bastards. Beautiful. Don't even need to explain it. And then we have, whatever you're thinking about, don't do it. So if you've been having like, maybe thinking like, oh, I should do this or I should do that, and it's based off of fear, like, oh, I should jump into this relationship, but you know, subconsciously you're only thinking about that because you don't want to be alone. Or I guess I should take that offer, but you're not taking the offer because it's an offer that you really want. You're taking that offer because you don't feel like you can get anything better. Don't do it. Now is not the fucking time, or it just might not be the time for what you're asking for. So either it's not for you at all and it's a fear-based thought, or what you're thinking about could be for you, just not right now, okay? But that is what I have for you guys, pile number one. And look at how I pushed it, but it didn't fall over, it just turned around. So this is like I said, turning into a whole nother version of yourself and seeing a whole nother version of yourself, because that tower didn't fall, right? It didn't break, it didn't crumble. It just turned to the other side, and you know, the other side is beautiful. But that's what I have for you guys. I hope it resonated, and I'll see you guys later. Toodles. Hello, my pile number twos. Those of you who chose the moon crystal right here, that I do not know what it is. I think it's 𝔗𝔦𝔪𝔢𝔰 or something like that. So this is going to be your reading. We're actually going to put this over here because we can't just shove it up there like the other one. Because it's going to mess with the placement of the cards. Or you know what? Maybe not. We'll do it. And if it messes it up, then we'll just move it. Okay. I feel a lot of anxious energy here. I feel a lot of nervousness. I heard, but what if it doesn't go the way that I want it to go? Well, you'll be pleasantly surprised. 44 seconds on the clock. You'll be pleasantly surprised to hear that it's either going to go the way that you want it to go, or it's going to go better. And that is something that I've been sticking by for a very long time. The universe either gives you what you want or better. God either gives you what you want or better. So whatever you believe in, whatever you put your faith in, whether this be God, the universe, your angels, your guides, or just yourself, it's only going to give you what you want, or it's going to give you better. And I also have a feeling that for this pile, you guys are coming into the energy of recognizing everything as a part of yourself. And I don't mean like recognizing every single person you meet is a part of yourself, or every single interaction you have is a reflection of yourself. I mean like recognizing that your spirit guides are just another version of you. The God or the universe that you believe in is just you, you know? And that can mean different things for different people at different places and parts of their journeys. So you take that however it resonates for you. And let's get into your cards. Just letting you know, I have not seen any cards, and how I do it when I pre-shuffle cards is that I only take cards that fall out face down, so I do not see them. 222 on the clock. And then we're going to be getting into some oracle cards for you when we are done with your tarot. So let's get into it. We have the Star card, Aquarius energy. I got chills with that card. There's something you've been wishing for, pile number 2. What does your soul want to tell you? 5 of Inspiration, which is 5 of Wands. If anybody's asking, this is the Muse Tarot. And and card number 3 is, wow, this actually fell out of the deck, this Justice card, and I put it back because I seen it, like I just told you, and it came out again. Okay, so your soul wants you to know that whatever you've been asking for, whatever you've been hoping for, praying for, wishing for, it's coming. And the reason why it's coming is because you're putting all the work into yourself. 333. You're either just starting to, or you have been for a very long time, focusing energy inward. You are choosing the uncomfortable route of self-reflection, self-acceptance, and instead of putting all of this energy, oh, I feel like tension, not tension, but like energy on my back, but it doesn't feel bad. It feels like a weight lifted, and I feel like that weight has been lifted as a result of you taking your energy back. You guys are taking your power back. You guys are stepping into a new phase of life, a confident phase of life, a self-soothing phase of life. Look at how she's clenching her hands together, right? All that inspiration in her hands, right? And the energy pouring outward, that beautiful water energy that we always associate with the Star card and Aquarius. We have this 5 of Inspirations right here. It's only her, and in every single one of her versions right here, her eyes are closed, and I'm just being drawn to this. You guys, I feel like maybe in the past, your soul wants to bring me to the past real quick. And look, she's self-soothing too. Look, they're all self-soothing. Holy shit, I did not notice that. She is self-soothing by bringing her hands to her chest, right? She is self-soothing. She's giving herself a hug, hands on herself, right? And she is self-soothing by cupping her own face in her hands, right? And so what I'm getting really here is that you guys are taking everything back to the self at this point in life. This isn't like, oh, you should be doing this. This is, you are doing this, and we're proud of you for it. Or I'm proud of me for it, basically, because we're getting a message from your soul, right? We're not getting a message from your guides. We're getting a message from your pure soul. 555 on the clock, y'all. So what's going on here is that you've gone through a really, really long journey of self-reflection, self-realization, self-actualization, and you're coming out of the other side a stronger, more vibrant, more beautiful person, in terms of energy, in terms of looks, in terms of confidence, in terms of vibration. And it's like all the energy that you've been pouring into other people, places, energies, situations, and I'm not going to say things that didn't serve you, because I feel like for a lot of these things, they were things that served you, but they were also, listen to the confirmation, I don't know if you guys just heard that car, they were also things that served you to an extent. I feel like you guys might have or had the tendency to, when you put your energy into something, you overextended that hand, you overextended that energy. So where I don't feel like it was wrong for you to put energy into it, maybe you put too much energy. You guys are very all or nothing, and it's like you've given your all to a lot of situations before and recognized that even if these situations, people, places, things were good to you, they still left you depleted. And it wasn't the thing or the person or whatever it is in itself that left you depleted. It was your tendency to give too much, right? So if this was a lover, you did for your lover before you did for yourself. Even a child, you do for your child before you do for yourself. And a job, you do for your job at the expense of yourself. And I feel like now you've either come into, or you're coming into this energy where you are redirecting all of that to yourself and recognizing that you cannot give with empty hands. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And your soul is really congratulating you for coming to that realization and for nurturing yourself the way that you should be nurtured, right? So let's get into your oracle cards here. Beautiful energy, pile number 2. I love your energy. We have allowing. Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. So you guys are at the point where you're like, you know what? This is happening and I'm okay with it. Maybe it's not my ideal situation, but it's happening and I can't change what I can't change. So if it's happening, it's happening, and it's happening for a reason. And you know what? I'll take it, right? That's some beautiful energy to be in, because a lot of us, and maybe even you guys in the past, like to control the things that happen to us, like to control our reality, or like to try to control things that are out of our control, honestly. And I feel like you guys are finally at this point of having released or releasing that control and saying, you know what, universe? If I'm so good, show me. If I'm so abundant, show me. If I'm so loved and worth so much, and I'm so amazing, and I'm such an amazing person, soul, energy, show me. And you're taking the bad with the good, and you are just riding the wave that we call life. You are accepting the ebbs and flows. You're accepting the windfall and the withdrawal. You guys are just at a place of acceptance, of spiritual surrender. And I feel like that is why there's major blessings coming into you, and your soul is like, thank you for finally seeing me. Whew. We have balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So yeah, I feel like this is tying into this allowing card. You guys have been balancing that spirituality and practicality. You guys have been balancing the, oh, I'm the creator of my universe, so I can create anything that I want. I can manifest whatever I want. I am the creator of my own reality, with the, you know what? This happens, and sometimes I can't control the things that happen, you know? I feel like you guys have started to really accept that most of your life you can control. 1111. Most of your life you can control, and you can manifest, and you can change. But when it comes to fated events, when it comes to certain things that are just meant to happen, there's no use in trying to control or alter them, because they are meant to be the way that they are. If it happens, it is meant to be, whether it feels good, it feels bad, whatever. And you guys are just like, you know what? If I can change it, if I can alter it, if I can make it better, then I'm doing that. But if I recognize that it's beyond my control, I'm just going to allow it to be beyond my control. So for example, the best examples I usually can come up with are romantic examples, like relationship examples. So that's the example that I'm going to give, because that's usually where I specialize. So for example, this is like, I'm going to try to have a connection with this person, and I'm going to try to control, you know, I'm going to try to do what I can. And if it doesn't work, then it wasn't meant to be. Sort of like, you know, I'm going to try as much as I can. I'm going to put up the boundaries. I'm going to show the love. I'm going to be vulnerable, and I'm going to do what I can to make this relationship work. But also having that strength at the same time to say, you know what, if I've been vulnerable and I've opened up and I've expressed myself and I've set the boundaries and I've done everything that I can to make this relationship work or make this connection be fruitful, and still it's not working out, then that's obviously something that's above and beyond my control. So I'm just going to leave it where it is. You guys have mastered the art of it is what it is. So I'm going to let it be what it is. We have Starseed. What lights you up? So your soul is really calling you to do more self-exploration. It really wants you to look deeper into yourself, into the depths of your mind and your emotion. But more so that sacral energy, that and that solar plexus energy, that creative, that self-expression, that power, that drive. What drives you, right? What lights you up? What drives you? Really ask yourself those questions, because I feel like right now is a self-exploration journey for you, and I feel like maybe you guys don't feel like you have all the answers right now. Maybe you guys still feel like you're a little stuck. Maybe you guys still feel a little confused. Like I have, like, you know, I know this and I know that and I know this and I know that, and I have all these little details, but I'm having a hard time forming the bigger picture with these details, and that's because right now you're supposed to be exploring, and that's okay. You're not supposed to know everything right now, and I feel like that's one reason why you guys are in this energy. It's like, you know what? If I don't know what I don't know, then obviously I'm not meant to know that yet, and it'll come to me when it comes to me, and that's that surrender that I'm talking about. That's so beautiful for you guys. So this next card here is going to be probably a little not harsh, but this deck curses a lot. It's real like type of like harsh, sort of harsh energy. So if you don't like that type of energy, I would say just skip ahead a few seconds, like maybe 10 to 20 seconds, and wait for this last card here. Okay, so we have don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. You need some fucking time alone, and you know why. So this is for those of you who really so this is for all of y'all, right? You need some alone time, and I feel like you guys know that. Ooh, I just got a pain in my stomach. You guys know that, you understand that, and it's still maybe uncomfortable. Maybe you guys are, you know, you are getting those thoughts like to do things. Like I said, you guys are doing things differently. And it's like you still might get that thought here and there, like, maybe I should hit this person up, or maybe I should do this, or maybe I should get this person's advice, when it's like, no, your soul knows everything that you need to know, and there's no information that anybody else can bring to you. Oh, this is a strong message. Your soul is saying, the information that you have is the information that you need. There is no information that anybody else can bring to you that can clarify anything for you right now, right? Because you know everything that you need to know right now, and when you need to know something else, you won't have to go searching for it, you won't have to go asking for it, you won't have to go chasing it. It'll just happen when it happens. And I feel like that's the way that they're going to continue things. So maybe before they brought you a lot of validation when it came to other people and conversations that you would have with other people. But I feel like from now forward, it's just going to be like depending on your own energy, and really spirit sort of, and your soul sort of forcing you to do things the way that they meant for you to do. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're meant to walk a solo journey, and this does not mean that you're not going to have people that stick with you. This does not mean you're not going to have meaningful, lasting connections, because you will. But when I say you're meant to walk a solo journey, this is like you're meant to figure it out by yourself. Yeah, you can have people there to support you, but you're meant to find your own answers, right? You're meant to do your own thing, because that's how powerful you are, right? And with the Starseed card, I keep on looking at Saturn. So you guys are coming into, so for some of you guys, you might be entering like a Saturn return, or maybe it's the end of your Saturn return. But for others of you, you're entering some really, really good karma, okay? Because of everything that you've been applying, and because of the way you treat people as well. Okay. So last message for you guys. Let's see. We have what did I say? You don't have to force anything. You don't have to chase anything. It says do not force solutions. Not everything can be fixed. Such times you have to let it die and let there be a new beginning. And I feel like this is what you guys are either coming into or what you guys have come to realize. And this is just something, like I said, nobody can bring you any information that you're, that you don't know at this point in time. And I feel like you guys already know this. And I feel like it might be hard to hear, it might be difficult to hear, because maybe you want to force those solutions in some way, somehow, for some reason. And that's understandable. We're only human. 18 on the clock. But don't force the solutions. Everything will come as it comes. There is a season and a reason for everything. So take it how it is and don't try to force it to be something that it's not. Excuse me. But that is what I have for you guys, and I hope this reading resonated for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles. Hello, pile number 3. If you guys chose this star moon paperweight, this is going to be your message. I'm getting the energy of doing things differently or moving or being, I'm hearing being forced to. So maybe you guys didn't want to make a certain change, and this doesn't have to be true for all of you, but maybe you guys didn't want to make a certain change, but now you realize it's really, really needed, or there was a situation that put you sort of between a rock and a hard place to where you were sort of forced to do things in a new way. 44 on the clock. Okay, but let's get into your cards, see what we've got here, and then we're going to get into some oracle after we're done that. So far, I've looked at the clock at 33 seconds, 44 seconds, and 55 seconds. You guys might be seeing a whole lot of angel numbers. We have Temperance in reverse. The 7 of Cups, or 7 of Emotions in reverse. Yeah, it's like you guys have no option right now but to heal, but to do things differently. Yeah. But it's going to be paying off for you guys. So your soul really wants you to know that the old way of doing things is just not working out anymore. It might have been a place of comfortability. It might have been your comfort zone. It might have been something that was really easy for you to do. But it's also causing a lot of frustration here. The old way of doing things is causing a lot of frustration within your emotional body. Your body, your soul is ready for you to do something different, to behave differently, to address things differently, to come to a different sort of deeper understanding. 222 on the clock. But it's like your conscious mind is like, no, we've done this way for so long. I don't want to do it that way. But it's like there could be certain people, certain situations, certain energies at play right now, or coming up, that are going to be forcing you to do things differently. This could be like a really healthy partner who comes into your life, and you really, really know that this relationship or this connection would be something really healing and really helpful for you. It's something that you don't want to pass by, but this person requires you to be open and vulnerable, or they require you to show love in a different way. There's the energy of there's something that you really, really want, and it requires you to do things differently. Not to be a different person, because you should never fully be a whole different person. 333, You should never be a whole different person and change every aspect of yourself just for somebody else or just for something, right? You should always reinvent yourself for yourself. However, I feel like there is something being placed in your reality, or I heard dangled in front of you, and I'm seeing like that one, I forget what commercial it is, maybe it's Aflac or something like that, where the dude is dangling like this money on a fishing pole in front of the lady, and she keeps trying to catch it, but every time she tries to catch it, it's being pulled away from her. Every time she tries to catch it, he's reeling it in even more, and he's telling her, oh, you got to be quicker than that. You almost had it. You got to be quicker than that. And that's sort of what your spirit team, what your soul is doing for you right now. Your soul is presenting you with some sort of wish fulfillment. And it really feels like a connection here. Either it's a connection to a familial relative, connection to a romantic partner, or a deeper connection with yourself. Or it could just be like a dream job. I'm hearing also, yeah, a dream job, a creative endeavor. So whatever this is, it's like your soul is dangling it in front of you like, here, you know you really want this, right? You know you really want this. And every time you try to use old methods that maybe would have previously gotten you what you wanted, it's like, nope, can't have it. Nope, can't have it. It's I'm getting shown like training your dog, and it's like you hold the treat there, right? And you're like, sit, and the dog sits, and you're about to give them the treat, but before you can give them the treat, they stand up again. And so you're like, no, you've got to sit. And so they sit, and then you're about to give them the treat, and then they stand up again, you know? So, and you only reward the dog for good behavior, you know? And that's sort of like what your soul, what your spirit team is doing for you right now. Your soul is really trying to tell you that everything that is being pushed on you right now is for greater reason. Everything that is being dangled in front of your face is not unattainable. The wish fulfillment that feels unattainable or feels like it's so far out or it's so hard to get is not actually so far out. It's not actually so hard to get. It's something, I'm hearing, it's already yours. You just have to walk in the energy that deserves it. Not saying that you're not deserving of it right now, but different things, different wish fulfillment requires different energy. And I feel like this wish fulfillment is something really, really big. It's something that would really, really make you feel on top of the world. And whatever this is, it requires you to not be a different person, like I said. It requires you to be a higher vibrational version of self. So this means doing things a little bit differently, doing things in a healthier way, communicating in a healthier way, acting in a healthier way, maybe eating or drinking healthier things, right? This is like doing things like, for a lot of you, you could have avoided making those healthy decisions for yourself. And it's like, well, if you're not going to do it for yourself, then we're not going to give you what you want until you do it for us. It's sort of like, well, I bet he'll do it for this, or I bet she'll do it for this, right? And it's bringing me back to like the dog thing. And it's like, if you keep on trying to get a dog to sit and the dog's not sitting and you're not doing it with a treat, right? You're trying to do it for obedience, right? So you have no treat in this one. You have no treat. And you keep on trying to get the dog to sit, and the dog's not listening, not listening, not listening. And it's like, you know what, motherfucker? You get a piece of chicken out, and you're like, well, I bet you'll sit for this shit, won't you? And then the dog finally sits, and you reward them with that treat for that good behavior. It's sort of like that's what spirit is equating you to, like the dog. Not saying that you guys are a dog, of course not. You, if you know me, you know me. You know, the examples that come up are different. But that's sort of what they're giving me here. It's like, well, if you won't do it for your own good, I bet you'll do it for this wish fulfillment, right? And that's sort of what your soul is saying, is like, whatever you guys have been called to do, to change, to be, like, or to reinvent in a certain way, or within a certain aspect, it's all for good reason, and it's leading you to what you want. It's leading you to what you feel like you need. I heard to some sort of self-completion, right? For some of you guys, this could feel like the missing puzzle piece. And yeah, that's what I'm really getting here. So let's get into your oracle cards. Remember, I do not look at anything that I shuffle for you guys before or ahead of time. If it comes out and I see the card, I put it back in the deck and I reshuffle and I get something else. Because I like to be surprised just as much as you do. So let's see. We have, look, outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed and I am open to receive. Yes, yes, yes. Release me from my attachments. Open me to your will. Look, that's fucking beautiful. That is so self-explanatory. I don't need to explain it. You're literally opening yourself up, or you're being forced to sort of open it. It reminds me of the card that's in this deck, and it says cracked open. It's sort of like excuse me, a rose being cracked open, or I don't remember what it is, but it's cracked open. It's like you're being forced to open up. Maybe you guys are being forced to open up. I was talking about vulnerability. This is throat chakra energy too. Let's see. We have inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. So what you guys are healing right now are wounds from your inner child. And that might have been the reason why you didn't want to, or you found it really difficult, or still find it really difficult to change certain things, because it's so deeply rooted into you. And it's like, maybe you guys know exactly where it comes from. 11:11 on the clock. Know exactly where it comes from, but you don't want to readdress those situations because it would feel like reopening the wound. But really it's not. It's like I'm being shown a wound that's like closed up, but it's infected. And it's like, in order to get that infection out so that the wound doesn't spread and become a bigger problem, a more detrimental issue than it already is, you're going to need to open it up and clear out that infection. And then once you open it up, clear out that infection, then you can close it, and you can work on that healing, right? And that's sort of the energy that I'm getting here for you guys, if that makes sense. All right. We have, look, a new romantic cycle begins. So for a lot of you, this could be talking about a relationship. And this is going to be a relationship where the scales are even, the scales are balanced. New moon in Libra. So you don't have to worry about this being a non-reciprocal relationship or non-reciprocal engagement. Whatever this is that you're opening yourself to, or opening yourself for, this wish fulfillment, it's really gonna be, I heard all that in a bag of chips. But it's gonna be something that you've been wishing for, right? Like I said, it's wish fulfillment, and it's gonna be something that you didn't recognize could even happen. First, for a lot of you, it's like you never recognized that a relationship could be this way, or you never recognized or saw that a job could be more than just oh, I have to go to work, you know? It's like you never recognized or even opened up to the possibility that things could be this good. And it's like, once you finally start making those changes and you finally start opening up to whatever it is, you're gonna start to realize, like, oh shit, what have I been holding back for, you know? This could happen around Libra season of next year, or this upcoming Libra season, or it could happen, I heard, around Pisces season as well. Look, we got the fish as well. That makes sense. Or it could happen within the next new moon, which is, if we're talking in terms of when I am recording this, then that's November 13th. I just heard a car outside, like, zoom. So yeah. So we have protection, call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. So there might be something here that needs to be released in order, like I said, it could be patterns, or it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a situation, but there is something here that your guides are like, you need to release this because it is not doing you any good. And in order to walk into this new cycle, you have to close the next, right? In order to read the next chapter, you have to close out the first, right? And that's sort of what we're getting to here. Look, we have a new moon right here, or an eclipse, something like that. But it looks like the moon right here, doesn't it? A lot of moons. We have moons, moons, moons. So you guys are connecting more with your intuition, and it might have been, look... And it might have been really difficult to connect with your intuition for so long because you were so used to relying on that mental energy. That swords energy, if you will. But it's like now you're being forced to connect to your emotion. Now you're being forced to connect to your feeling, to your intuition. And it's like, I see your guides chuckling. And it's like, we've been waiting for this. Finally, they're opening up, sort of energy. 15:15 on the clock. But these next two cards here, they're going to be a little bit, a little harsh. These messages tend to come off a little bit abrasive. So if you don't like that type of energy, I would say just skip the next maybe 20 seconds. But yeah, if you are willing to get those type of messages, then here we go. So we have, oh shit, stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change the world, so do it. So one thing that I do want to add here is that complaining doesn't make you weak. Expressing yourself does not make you weak or less of a man or woman. Whatever you resonate with. Complaining, expressing yourself doesn't make you weak. But staying in a victim mentality when you've already learned everything that you need to learn from that cycle definitely does. And I will never say that being in a victim mentality is a bad thing, because you have to be the victim in order to be the hero. You have to understand what it is to be the victim in order to step into that hero energy, right? But that's where we get a villain, right? So a hero is somebody, we always look at the villain's backstory and be like, oh, that's why they're a villain, right? But a lot of the times, if you look at the hero's backstory, it's kind of similar, right? It's just, what do you choose to do with the trauma and discord that you've been through? Do you choose to let it take over and turn you bitter? Or do you choose to learn from it, pursue, and become a better version of self for yourself because of that, right? So it says you have the strength to change the world, so do it. You can do it. You will do it. It's just a matter of really keeping those commitments to yourself that you need to keep to yourself, right? So your next card, we have we have fucking apologize. So somebody needs an apology from you, whether this is you apologizing to yourself, maybe you apologizing to this past version of yourself, this inner child, or you apologizing to somebody in waking life. But there needs to be an apology of some sort here. We have seriously, just do it. So whoever you know that you need to apologize, whether it be you, somebody else, something else, do it. Okay? Just do it. And I heard you're not going to regret it. And then we have an amazing story. Some situations are more than meets the eye. While it may appear like an ordinary event, it could be magic unfolding. Don't judge a book by its cover. that is what I have for you guys. I'm not even going to speak any more on this card because I feel like it's self-explanatory. But that's what I have for you guys. I hope it resonated with you guys, and I will talk to you later. See ya. Toodles. Hello, pile number 4. I accidentally called you pile number 3 when I was starting this video, so maybe you're interested in pile number 3. If you were interested in both piles, I definitely recommend watching both. But if you were not, then just disregard that message. That was not for you. Okay? So, I've shuffled some tarot cards for you, and then we have some oracle cards that we will be getting to at the end of your reading. So let's just get into it. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Materials. I heard you're stepping into a new chapter. Temperance. Oh, you definitely could have been interested in pile number 3. They got both of these cards. 8 of Inspiration, 8 of Wands. I'm hearing moving, 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 moving. Could be physically moving, mentally, emotionally moving, taking steps, 111. And then we have the 3 of Inspiration, the 3 of Wands. So there's a leap that you guys need to be taking here. And it's going to lead you to a lot of abundance, okay? Ooh, forgot that. And I forgot to move pile number 3 signifier. Interesting. You guys could have definitely been drawn to both pile number 3 and number 4. But like I said, if you weren't, then you weren't. And you weren't for a reason, okay? So what's going on here is that you guys have come into a point of self-actualization. You are recognizing what you need to do, what you need to change, what you need to leave behind. And you are pushing yourself forward, but there is also need to take a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a break before rushing into certain situations. This feels like pile number 3 after pile number 3 has dealt with all the uncomfortable, I don't want to do it, I don't want to make that change sort of energy. So this feels like a step after pile number 3. So only watch pile number 3 if you were really, really drawn to it. But I feel like what I'm hearing is that there's new doors opening up for you, and I hear you have infinite possibilities. I feel like you guys are finally allowing yourself to move forward. I heard with class. I don't know why I heard with class, but there's sort of this like untamed energy here that I feel like your soul's really liking. And it's not untamed in a way of being immature. It's untamed in a way of actually maturity. This is like divine feminine energy, but dark feminine energy. Dark feminine energy is also divine. Dark energy is also divine, just the way that you look at it. Okay, it's always the way that you look at it. And in that pink crystal ball, I don't know why I'm seeing a tiger. So a tiger could be a spirit animal for you. I just felt pressure on the upper back and neck area. So you guys might have I heard a cat that likes to sit on your upper back or neck, a cat that likes to sit on you a lot. I also feel like you guys could have the spirit animal of a cat or a tiger. I'm also getting drawn to the movie Ice Age for some reason, the saber tooth. So there's something in there like primal urge. I'm getting the energy of I need this, I want this, I'm moving towards this, but then spirit's like, okay, big boy, let's wait, right? Let's wait, let's look at our options, you know? And even if I feel like you guys have already made up your mind what you want and what you're moving towards, but it's just like, maybe not look at our options in terms of, well, what do we go for if we can't get what we want? Because I feel like you guys are very much Like, you know what you want, and I don't feel like your soul's telling you that what you want isn't for you. I feel like your soul is just like, look, I didn't even notice that there's snails at the top of this. Yo. So yeah, it's all about taking your time right now, because you've had the inspiration, you have had the epiphanies, you know what you want, you know what your soul has been telling you to do, to go get, to go after for a while. And it's like, now we have to sit back and look at our options in terms of how to pursue what it is that we want right here. So it reminds me, because in one of the other piles, not pile number 3, I was talking about, like, don't chase, like, just allow it to come to you. But in your pile, it really feels like you have to be the one to initiate. You have to be the one to go get, or go start up whatever this is. I see somebody working on, like, the motor of a car, and so it's like you are working on your methods of transportation, so to speak. This could literally be you working on getting a car, working on fixing a car, or this could be symbolic for you working on, you know, yourself and working on your means of moving forward in terms of, like I said, what options do we have? Like, is it safe to step forward in this way, or should we wait for this period? I'm seeing somebody, like, running for the bus, but it's like, oh, there was this, I forget what her name is, but she was doing an interview. It's the girl who plays, fuck, why can't I think of her name? Damn. It's the girl who plays Olivia, fuck, she's an amazing actress. I forget what the show is called, but the main character's name is Olivia, and she, like, has this, she's a lawyer, and, damn, I really forget what it's called. I love that show, but it's giving me an interview that I seen the actress in. And she was basically talking about, like, you have to work with God. And of course, you don't have to believe in God. You could believe in the universe. You could believe in yourself. You could believe in something divine, something bigger and outside of you. But it's like, you have to work with it. So it's like, you could pray for the bus. You could pray that you're going to catch that bus. You could, you know, pray that it's going to be there for you, you know. But if you see that bus pull up and you're not running, and you're not, you know, doing everything that you can to get on that bus, then you might miss that opportunity that's being, you know, you're not going to get on that bus. You're going to miss that opportunity that's being presented to you. So it's like the divine could be conspiring in your favor, but you still have to work with it, right? It's like the divine could have put you in the right place at the right time with the right things, the right people, the right situation, the right energy, but it's like, you still have to match that, you know. Nothing comes without a little bit of effort in whatever way you want to take effort. It could be physical effort, it could be emotional effort, it could be financial effort. Whatever it is, you still need to put some sort of effort into it. And so it's like, you could, like I said, be in a right place at the right time with the right energies, with the right people, blah, 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 everything's perfectly right. But if you are not helping yourself get to that goal by doing the work that you know that you need to do, or making the moves that you know that you need to do, you're gonna miss that bus, right? And that's what your soul is basically telling you right now. It's like, maybe for a while you've sat back and you've surrendered and you said, you know what, if it doesn't happen, it's not meant for me. And that could go two ways. I do believe that if it doesn't happen for you, it's not meant for you. But I only believe that 9/11 on the clock, Archangel Michael's number, I only believe that if it doesn't happen, it's not meant for you applies. I believe that only applies when you've done everything in your power to get what it is you wanted, or get what it is, you're striving to get, So it's like, you can go in and like, you know, for example, you want to pass this test, right? You could go in, you know, and it's like, if you didn't study for the test and you fail the test, you can't say that it wasn't meant for you because you didn't try. But if you've studied and you've done the work and you've prepared yourself and you've done everything that you could do to prepare for that test, and you still don't, and you still fail that test, then it wasn't meant for you. But if you didn't study, you didn't pick up a pen and paper or go on the internet and research, like, and you fail that test, maybe you were supposed to ace that test, and maybe it just didn't happen because you didn't apply yourself. And that's sort of what we're getting here with your cards, pile number 4. That's what your soul is sort of telling you. Whew, it's kind of a heavy message, so I apologize if it's a little difficult to hear. But let's get into your oracle cards. We have expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. This is like calling for change, needing to be more expansive, needing to see things in a different light, needing to open your wings and fly and be more aware, I'm hearing. Okay, and then we have surrender to the divine. Yeah, surrender all that is not within your control, but also make that effort. You could see some, there could be really important events happening around the next full moon for you guys. Then we have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Look, whatever your intuition has been telling you, it is the truth. It is something that you should be following, but you need to take the steps, right? That person is still walking forward. They're not expecting just to be carried, right? That's the sort of energy that I'm getting here. Excuse me. This next card is a little bit abrasive, so if you're not into that harsh, you know, type energy, then maybe skip it forward like 10 seconds. We have, we have, you need a big fucking hug. Squeeze. So yeah, your guides sort of did come ream you out a little bit, right? But they are still saying, like, you've done everything that you could do up until this point. You've done the best that you could with what you had. But now you have more. Now you're smarter, so you should choose smarter. Now you have more options, so you should choose the better options. It's like before, your spirit guides really couldn't blame you because you needed more lessons. You needed more information. You know, you need to know better in order to be able to do better. But it's like now you know better, so you should be doing better. Now you have more information, so you can't blame it on a lack of information, right? And that's really what I'm getting here. But it's like, even though this is a difficult reading, your guides still want to let you know that, like, they love you, they're here for you, they're supporting you, and you deserve the best because I heard because you're trying. All right, and then we have, I was fucking, oh my god, wasn't I just talking about a tiger? Y'all, this is some shit, yo. Fucking crazy. We have conflict resolution. Differences are bound to create conflict, but no matter how intractable, all conflicts are capable of peaceful resolution through compromise. So this might be something you're going through with another person, or something that you're even just going through with yourself. But it's like really knowing how to deal with the situation as is and dealing with it in the most healthy way that you can to bring about the best possible resolution here. But that is what I have for you guys. That is so crazy that the tiger came out. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles.